Today we're going to learn how to locate notes on a piano keyboard. The reason being is that most theory work, the piano keyboard helps you to work out and figure out theory work, scales, triads, intervals. And it's easy to see where a note is on a keyboard because you can look at it and find notes, unlike maybe a flute or a recorder, you have to do a specific combination of fingering to get a different note. But on the keyboard, you press, you hear a sound. So the keyboard, you'll notice, is comprised of two colors. Mostly, it's usually white and it's usually black. I've seen different combinations, but it's usually two colors. And the black keys, if you look very carefully, you notice that the black keys seem to be grouped in twos and threes. A group of two, group of three, a group of two, a group of three. And this grouping of your black keys is not by chance, but it acts as, I would say, musical landmarks where one can just look at a group of two black keys and find a note. So if I say find a note, a white key that is on the right side of a group of three black keys, I could just go here on my piano, look for my three black keys, and the white key that's on the right will be this. If I say find a white key that is in between a pair of black keys, I could look for the pair of black keys. Here's a pair of black keys. And the white key that's in between will be this note. So we use the black keys as landmarks to navigate and find different pitches on the keyboard. And once you can do that, you allocate names to these pitches. So the first pitch that I'm going to show you how to find is a C. C is a white key and it's located to the left of a group of two black keys. So if I look for a group of two black keys, C will be this white key that's on the left of two black keys. If I want to see that's higher, you go to the right. So the piano notes get high from left to right. So if you say, let's play a higher C, you look for your group of two black keys, and this note that is on the left, is a C. And we have one more group of two black keys here. And if I should play this note that's on the left of a group of two black keys, that's C. So C is a white key that's on the left side of a group of two black keys. So this is how you use your black keys to navigate the keyboard. After you've found C, it's not necessary for you to cram off where all the other keys are, because from finding C, you just simply have to say your alphabet. And the note next to it, the next white key, will be D. So this is C, and if you want to find D, it's the note that is next or on the right-hand side of the C. So look for my two black keys, C, and this will be the D. Another way to easily find D, if finding the C and checking up according to alphabet is too long, is that D is the white key that's in between a group of two black keys. Find D, two black keys in between D. If I need to find E, you know how to find C, you know how to find D, and you know after D is E. E is found to the right side of a group of two black keys. Let's label the E's. E, two black keys to the right. E, two black keys to the right. E. What if I wanted to find B? You could check from C, the letter before C, it's B. Or you could simply look for a group of three black keys, and the note that is on the right of B is B. Three black keys to the right of three black keys, B. Three black keys, B. Three black keys. B. Should I need to find A, you could check for C. You could go back B, A, C, B, A. Or you could check from C and go to the right C, D, E, F, G, A. If you look at a group of three black keys, A is the one that is in between the last pair, the last two of the group of three black keys. Here and here. Let's find G. We just located A. G will be just before it. So G can be found between the first two of a group of three black keys. Three black keys, first two, G. Three black keys, the first two, G. And before G will be F, or after E will be F. C, D, E, here's my F. F. F is on the left of a group of three black keys. Three black keys, here's my F. Three black keys, here's my F. So you have now learned how to find all the pitches on your keyboard. C, to the left of two black keys. D, E, F, group of three left. G, A, B, and to the left of two black keys, C.
Intervals, semitone and tone, also called half step and whole step.
On the piano keyboard, any note that is next to another note, immediately next to it, the distance between those two notes is called a semitone or a half step. So take, for instance, if I look for C, and I were to play this note that is immediately to the right of it, these two notes are semitone apart. G, and this note to the right of it, immediately next to it, that is a semitone apart. Now, semitones doesn't have to be different colors, like this is a white and this is a black. Say, for instance, I were to go to the E, the note that is immediately next to it, that's a semitone apart or a half step away, is the F. Semitones are not always to the right of a note. These two notes are a semitone apart from each other. If I was on C, and I go to the note that's to the left of it, that's immediately to the left, this is a semitone lower than the C. If I'm on an A, and I go to the left of it, the note that is immediately next to it, that is a semitone apart as well. A semitone is the smallest distance between two notes visibly on the piano. If I was in C and I go to this note that's next to it, it's a semitone apart. I am on this note and I go a semitone higher from that. These two notes are said to be a tone apart. Semitone plus another semitone is a tone apart. So from this note C to the note D, they are tone apart because there's a semitone and there's a semitone between each of these notes. A tone is the sum of two semitones. If I was on this note and I go down to here and I go down to here, a semitone by a semitone, these two notes are a tone apart. A tone, sometimes called a whole step. If I was on this note and I go here, a semitone, and then I go another semitone, these two notes are a tone apart.
Sharpened notes.
When you make a note higher by a semitone, you have sharpened that note. For instance, if I am on C and I make it higher, to make a note higher on the piano, you go to the right. So if I'm to make the C higher by a semitone, and the semitone is a note that is immediately next to it, I have made that note higher by a semitone. It's called sharp. So this was C. This is now C sharp. C, raise it by a semitone. It is sharpened. This is C sharp. If I am on A and I want to make it higher, I want to sharpen it. I want to make it higher by a semitone. A semitone is a note that is immediately next to it. So this note here that is immediately next to it and higher, going towards the right, is A sharp. A sharp. A, the note next to it, a semitone or half step away, is A sharp. Now, sharpened notes do not have to be white notes alone. What if I am on E? The note that is a half step away and higher is the note next to it here. This note is also called E sharp. Once a note is made higher by a semitone, you have sharpened that note. G, G sharp. D, D sharp. B, B sharp. F, F sharp. So we know how to find and locate sharpened notes on the keyboard, but how do we write it on the staff so the musician will know they are to play F sharp or C sharp or B sharp? So we will go to the basics where you put notes on the save. So this is F. This is A. Let's turn it around. This is C. And this is E. The space. I use the space F-A-C-E so you can see where the notes are. This is F sharp. This is A sharp. This is C sharp. And this is E sharp. So instead of putting notes, you put the sharp sign in the space that corresponds to a specific letter name. F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E sharp. For the lines, E sharp, G sharp, B sharp, D sharp, and F sharp. So a musician would see this and know they have to play E sharp when this appears, G sharp, B sharp, D sharp, F sharp. The only thing the musician does not know is how long to hold that E sharp or G sharp for. Say, for instance, I wish for the musician to hold G sharp for 4 counts, then you would put your G sharp, and immediately behind that note, you'll put the note value. Of course, it must be on the same line. This is G sharp. You're going to play G sharp for 4 counts. So the note value comes behind the symbol all the time. A lot of people mix it up and want to put that as G and this is a sharp sign and like this. It's not like that. The musician needs to know it's G sharp they're playing. If they see this note before, without seeing the sharp after it, they may just play the G. The sharp before lets you know it's G sharp. This tells you the value. It goes right behind it. G sharp for 4 counts. C sharp, same space. C sharp for 2 counts. If the notes are on a ledger line, let's say it's A above the staff, you put the sharp just where the A will be. And of course, it will need a ledger line. So I'm going to just draw a line through that. Oops, that's really bent, like horribly bent. A sharp. Try again. All right, so I'll just move the note head to fit on the line, then trying to draw that line again. A sharp. Do not put the stave so the sharp so it could try and be on the line. It's in front of the note so the musician could see the ledger line. May have to move this out. It's in front like that and the note follows. A sharp. B sharp, you carry this to sit on that like B, and then you'll raise the sharp a little so it will look like it's going to be on the line in front of the note. B sharp for 2 counts. All right, so that's it in a nutshell, how to place your sharp sign on the stave and then follow it with the note value that you require. A sharp for 4 counts. Move it a little lower so it appears as if that line will go through it. A sharp for 4 counts. D sharp for 1 count. D sharp, let's use the D that's below the stave, like here. D sharp for 1 count. Sharp is before, followed by its value. D sharp for 1 count. And that's how you place sharp signs on your stave so that the musician will know to play that pitch.
Flattened notes.
Flats are notes being lowered by a semitone. So if I am on D and I want to go down a semitone to this note here, so from the D I go here, that is D flat. If I'm on A and I want to make the note lower by a semitone, which is here from A to here, that becomes A flat. C is here, just to the left of 2 black keys. This is C. If I go to the note that is a semitone to the left, which is here, this note is C flat. So black keys does not only be sharps, they are also flattened. And you can also have a white key that's flattened. For instance, if I'm on F and I go to the left by a semitone, this white key is now F flat. Similarly, the flat signs operate like the sharp. They, however, look different. So the flat signs, I would say it look like a lowercase b. Just make the bass part here with an apex, make it pointed. First line, that will be E flat, G flat. So the line of the stave must dissect the flat sign. Similarly, like when you have a note and the line must dissect it. So I will know it's on the G line, that's G. I will know this is G flat. B flat, third line, D flat, F flat. For the spaces, you could start below here, and that's a D, D flat. Then the first space is F flat, A flat, C flat, E flat. Let's make another one just to sit on top of the stave. That's G flat. Notice for notes that are in the spaces, you do not have the lines dissecting the center. It needs to be precise so the musician will know it's the space note they're playing and not the line note. Just like before, when you want the musician to know the value of the note, they are to play A flat for 4 counts. You put the flat sign followed by the value in the same space or the same line of the flat. So if you want A flat, you can't put this here. This is A flat followed by a C. It must be here. The ledger line works the same way. It was a struggle just now with the ledger line. Let's say we want a note to be C. You're going to put the flat sign in front of it, but not on the ledger line. And let's see if we can get these lines here. First line. And this line through the note head. Okay, you get the picture. C flat. You want the flat sign to be a little closer to the note. C flat.
The natural sign.
There are times where you would have flattened a note and you would need to revert that note to its original pitch. And that is where the natural sign comes in. So the natural sign will make a note that was previously a sharp note, it will make it back to its original note. So the natural sign, just like the flat signs, goes in the space. So that's F natural. This is A natural, C natural, E natural. So if you take a look at the natural sign, the left stem extends above and the right stem extends below. E natural, G natural, B natural, D natural. Let's just duplicate this for the F natural. So the natural sign makes a previous sharpened or flattened note revert to its pitch, the letter name.
Accidentals and their rules.
Accidentals is the term we use to refer to sharps, natural, and flat signs when we use it on a stave preceding a pitch. So there are some rules that govern the use of accidentals. For instance, if I have this note, this is an E, and let's say it's E flat, but I also want the note, I want for this entire bar, all E's be flattened. So I'm gonna just draw a bar line here. So for this entire bar, I want all the E's to be flattened. If the E is not on the same line, then I will have to flatten the other E. So this is E, but this is E an octave higher than this one here. This is E4, this is E5. So I wish for all my E's to be flattened in this bar, so I will have to reestablish this note has been flattened. And what if I jump back down to the E? Let's just get this out of the way. Down back on the line, we want to do an E4. So it's all confusing, so I'll just go over it again. All right. It's not necessary, once it's within the same bar, it's not necessary to put the flat accidental. It's not necessary to put this flat in front of it. It is understood for the entire bar that this flat will affect any E that is on this line. However, if I wanted my last note to not be flattened, then I will simply just put a natural sign in front of it, so it will be a regular E. So once the notes are in the same bar and a flat is placed in the line or in the space to affect notes on that line or space, it does so for the entire bar. I may want this first note to be an E, but I want the last note to be an E flat. So because the first note is a regular E, there's no need to put a natural sign, because normally you just play an E when you see this. Then you go up to E flat, and then you put the flat sign. Now, this only works for the entire bar. So should I go to the next bar and I want this to be an E flat, I will have to put it again. The bar line literally cancels out the accidental from the previous bar. So this is no longer an E flat. I will have to reestablish that is an E flat and put it there again. It only lasts, the accidentals only affects the bar in which it is in. So this is some of the basic rules for your accidental signs. One is that the accidental only affect the notes on the line that it's on or in the space it's on. Another thing is that it affects all the notes for the entire bar that's on that line or in that space, only on that line. So although these two notes are both E, if I do not have this flat sign here, the musician is going to play this as an E flat, this as a regular E, and then come back and play this as an E flat. The flat is not necessary to put the flat in front of all the notes on the same line in the bar, because this flat will affect everything in the entire bar. The bar line cancels out the effect of the accidental. So if you wish to have those notes to be flattened again in the next bar, you will have to put them once more. And those are the rules basically that govern the use of accidentals on your stave.
Enharmony.
As you saw before, can have a sharp name, they can have a flat name, they can have a natural name. When a note has more than one name, we refer to that as the enharmonic name. Enharmony means one pitch with more than one name. It's no different to a person. My name is Michelle Marfan. I will answer to Michelle, I'll answer to Marfan. But yet I am still the same one person. And that's how it works with enharmony. So for example, the note C sharp, C sharp, is also D flat. This particular pitch is a semitone higher than C, so it's C sharp. It's also a semitone lower than D, D flat. So the pitch C sharp is enharmonic to D flat, or the enharmonic name for D flat is also C sharp. Both these pitches carry the same pitch, but you can have two different names for it. D sharp is also E flat. Let's look at E sharp. E sharp is a wide note on the right, a semitone away from E. But this note is also called F. Remember that F is to the left of a group of three black keys. Here we have F sharp, because this note is a semitone to the right, semitone higher than F, but it is a semitone lower than G. So F sharp is enharmonic to G flat. G sharp is enharmonic to A flat. B sharp, A sharp, is enharmonic to B flat. This is B. We go to a semitone higher than B to get B sharp. B sharp is enharmonic to C. C and B sharp is the same note. Here's a question. What is the enharmonic note name for E? E is a semitone lower than F. So this note can be called E, but it also can be called F flat. E and F flat are enharmonic notes. C, C flat. C flat is the same as B. B and C flat are enharmonic note names. Here is a list of the black keys and their enharmonic names.